Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Krishna, and in this video, we're going to look at how you can integrate vector elements from Adobe Illustrator into Photoshop. So I'm starting this video with a basic idea that I'm not really a big expert in Illustrator, full-blown honesty there. I'm much more proficient in Photoshop. But over the course of the next few months, I'm trying to really push my Illustrator skills. So this is the reason why I'm making this video. As I learn, I want to teach it. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we'll go ahead and start off by launching Illustrator here. And we're going to be working with two commands primarily, the blend command and the make with top object command. And we're going to essentially be using these elements here to create a vector shape that we can then bring into Photoshop and we can manipulate to create some art with some of the stuff. So let's talk about how this all works. We'll go ahead and make a brand new Illustrator file. Really doesn't matter what size you're going to make your canvas. I'm just going to pick print 612 by 792 point. I'm going to click OK. And I want to show you how this blend feature will work. So I know there's a million and one videos on how these techniques work. I'm just going to go ahead and pick the rectangle tool here. I'll just go ahead and make a rectangle, and I'll go ahead and fill it in with some kind of a color. I'll pick a dark red, and I'll make the stroke about 3 points. And what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and make a copy of this rectangle. To do that, I can press down the Option key or the Alt key on Windows and just move this off to the side wherever I wish. I'm going to change the fill to a lighter color, like yellow. And what I want to do next is I want to make sure the selection tool is active. I'm going to go ahead and drag a bounding box around both objects. Now, if I hold down Option Command B, that's Alt Control B for you Windows folks, I get this blend, but it's not quite the way I want it yet. So I'm going to click on Blend Options. I'm going to choose specified steps. I'll drop the specified steps down to say something like 50. And I can also specify the distance. So I'm going to choose maybe 30 points. And what you can see here is I can control both the number of blend copies and I can control their distance. For example, if I were to bump this up to say 100, we can see that we have discrete bars without any overlap whatsoever. So that's something to keep in mind. So that is Option Command B. You can think about it like blend, right? So the other command that we're going to learn here too is basically being able to place type within a shape. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and use the type tool. I'll just go ahead and type in some text, blah. I'll pick a chunky font and I'll just make the font size maybe 102 points just so you can see it. So I've got some random text here. And what I'll do next is I'll go ahead and use the ellipse tool and make some kind of a shape. Now, I also want to make a disclosure here. This is not a how to use Illustrator. This is assuming that you have a little bit of experience with Illustrator, enough to be dangerous. But it's not meant to be a step-by-step in terms of walking you through all the panels in Illustrator. Okay, so I'm going to just change the color of the fill here just so we can see this a little bit better. I'll just change it into red. And in Illustrator, you're working with shapes. You're not working with pixels. That's a big distinction. So if I want to manipulate this shape, I can use the direct selection tool, keyboard shortcut A. It's also this white arrow here. If I click on it, I'm just going to go ahead and move this down a scooch. Maybe I'll also move this down, kind of make it look like a smiley face. And then what I'll do next is I'm going to go back to my normal selection tool. I'm going to select the text, shift select the object. And if I hold down Option Command C, what that does is it takes the text and fits it into that particular shape. So you've got Option Command C, which is what we've just done, and Option Command B, which is to blend. So we're going to use that knowledge to go ahead and create something that's going to be used in our Photoshop illustration. Let's go ahead and change the color of this blah text. So in order to do that, I'm going to double click on it. The text is still editable. At this point, I can go ahead and change it to whatever I want. I'll just go ahead and make it red. I'll also go ahead and add a stroke. So I'll make a black stroke, and I'll bump the stroke up to 2 points. I'm going to make a copy of this text by just holding down the Option key. And I'm going to go ahead and scale it down like so. And just for giggles, what I'll do is I'll just change the fill color to, we'll try green. So I've got two basic objects. Now I can do my blend command. The way I'll do that is I'm going to go ahead and make a box around both objects. I'll hit Option Command B, and I need to increase the granularity. So in the Properties panel, if I click on Blend Options, I can choose Specified Steps. Let's go ahead and make that, say, 30. Looking very trippy there. We'll specify the distance as maybe 25. And we've got something that we can work with. Now, I'm not saying that these are all great. This is just to give you some ideas for techniques that you can incorporate. So I'm going to just take this exact object by highlighting it, just dragging my cursor over it so it's all selected. I'll hit Command C to copy it, and I'll switch back into Photoshop. I'll hit Command V. I'll paste this as a smart object. You can see that I've got my text. So what I want you to think about is, don't think about this as a bunch of text, but think about it as an interesting shape. You do a lot of really cool things with this particular shape. I'm going to first of all command click on this vector object. I'll make a new layer. I'll hit Option Delete, and what that does is it fills it in. So now I've got something that could be akin to like a basket. It could be, I could take this and I could maybe rotate it, and it might look like the blown out exterior of an airplane. I could rotate it like this, and now all of a sudden it looks like I've got maybe someone's hair. I'm going to kind of roll with that here because I think it's got a pretty distinct look. And then I can just draw the other elements. I can draw, say, the jawline, and throw in some eyes. And all of a sudden I've got something that looks quite interesting. And I know I could have probably done something similar all within Photoshop, but the idea is you're basically having an opportunity to play. And in that experimentation, you actually start to learn new things. And that's what I'm trying to push myself to do. I want to just integrate more vector elements into my work while still being pretty authentic to the way I work, in terms of like my overall quote unquote style. So a lot of different ways that you can kind of position this. And I think it looks interesting. If I don't like that for whatever reason, again, we should never be married to the first one that we come up with. You can always maybe just play with maybe just giving a sharper jaw. Now we've got another character here, right? So you can mix and match your vector elements with your raster elements, and you can have a lot of fun with it. That's how I basically created this guy right here. I used the same technique and just basically blocked out all the text and looked at the shape that the text was making to create something that has this very textured look. It's almost like we're getting a sense of lighting that is kind of like breaking up that hair from being one complete form. So that's the video. Hopefully you found some value in it. If you did, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you want to see me integrate more techniques between Illustrator and Photoshop, drop me a comment below. I'm just curious to know if you're interested in learning more about this. And again, I'm not really an expert in Illustrator. I know enough to be dangerous, but I'm trying to get better. So that's the thrust of this particular video. And if it's popular or if you find some value in it, maybe we'll do some more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.